Zoom recording. Go. So hello, everybody. Thank you for joining my paper pumpkin class. I'm Brenda Miller. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in New Jersey. And once a month, we open our boxes and we make one of each card, and then we look at some other ideas. So we have just two people on tonight, but I will highlight my desktop so that nobody has to be embarrassed that we're looking at them all the time, including myself, although we can see you at the top. But so this month, today is June 1st, and we are actually doing the kit called Exploring in Color, which was the May kit, but we do it the first Thursday of the following month to make sure that people get their box. During COVID especially, there were a lot of problems with people getting their boxes in time. So we just now wait till the beginning of the next month to do our class. So here we go. This is a pretty box, right? I love that they do the decorative boxes. It's like every other month now they're doing that. So instead of just the plain old orange ones, although it confuses Scott, he's got to look for it where it says paper pumpkin. He gets very excited when the paper pumpkin boxes come on my behalf, which is very nice. So anyway, so if we open our box, one thing we'll notice is the tissue paper is boho blue. How fun is that? So good to have another color. And so then we get into our box, and you girls, I saw it, Lois, you were opening yours. Sheila, you probably opened yours weeks ago.
So, yes, I did.
Yeah. So I opened mine this morning so that I could go through it one time. And so this is the insert that has the instructions. So we'll follow along with this. So that is on the inside of your packet. But we also get a fabulous stamp set. I love these camping mugs. We actually did these as favors for an event last year, and where they were customized, and they're so cute. So I really love those camping mugs. So it's a little bit, could be a masculine set. And look at the happy birthday. It's just such a beautiful font on this. So another good reason to hang on to your stamps. And there are several others that we will use and some we won't. We get a copper clay ink spot, which is copper clay is one of the new in colors. So you add that to your collection. Good to have. And then we have what's inside our packet. And I did my best to keep everything in order so that we all knew what we were opening and when. So we'll do like we usually do, which is divide the supplies into the 3 different projects. You get your dimensionals, always helpful to have those. You also have a spool of linen twine, which is just really handy, goes with anything. And then you have these beautiful envelopes. So there are 3 different envelopes, and they can go mix and match with the cards. So they're very pretty, and they each have a different color for the envelope top. So for those of you who might cut your envelopes apart, there's a lot that you can do with these. This is copper clay, this is moody mauve, and this is boho blue. So we have our new in colors, but we won't use those right now. Next, we have the scene with the buffalo and the tent. That is card number 1. So if you want to go and start your pile, card number 1, you'll start with that piece. And then you have others, right? And then we come to the canoe. And the canoe is card number 2, the canoe in the mountains or hills, depending upon where you live, I guess. And then we get to our labels, which they so generously provide for us. There are 4 of each, so that if we make a mistake, we can correct it. So the first label, I'm starting at the top. This is a banner that has the boho blue stripes. This goes with card number 1. So put that there. The middle one with the wild wheat color outline, which kind of looks like gold, right? That goes with card number 2. And card number 3, which we haven't pulled out yet, but we will in a second, gets this piece with, I guess that's the pebbled path color, because it's like a dark gray. So you can put the rest of those aside. And then we get to finally the the last card base, and this one is just, I'm going to say mountains and flowers. That's how I'll identify that. So that is card number 3. So that goes with that little banner piece. Okay, so this is just really quick and easy. The last sheet of die cuts, we have Moody Mauve with a banner end, and the one with the banner end goes with card number 1. Then there's also a solid Moody Mauve that doesn't have a banner, banner end, and that goes actually with card number 3. And then there is a pudgy one that has on an angle, and that goes with card number 2. Also on this sheet is a little compass. The compass goes with card number 3. I feel like I'm playing bingo. And then the little binoculars, they go with card number 1. So you can see the theme is outdoors, etc. And so they also gave us, just for fun, some stickers. Stickers are fun to have. I've seen people make cards with these. I love with the flowers coming out, always good. So anyway, we're not going to use those today. So that is it for the card contents. And as you can see, this is going to go pretty quickly. The hardest thing we have to do today is tie bows and make circles and etc. But it's really not that hard when you're working with the twine. So let's start with card number 1. So we're going to fold our card at the score line. And the buffalo and the tent are on the front. But you could see that these easily could be made into 2 different cards with the scenic background. Very fun. And we are going to, I guess we should stamp first. So let's go ahead and take out our banner. And for this banner, they have the banner part, the flagged part on the left. So that is good to know. I'm sorry. Oh, I did it exactly backwards because it's upside down. It's the banner goes on the right. The banner is on the right. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to confuse you. And we're going to use the happy birthday. Now, of course, you can use anything else that fits. I didn't try any others, but the happy birthday fits nicely. And we're going to use copper clay. Now I have the full size ink pad, of course. I had to get all the new ink colors immediately. So made my investments. And we're going to stamp it towards to the flag end. Okay, because I didn't show you the card, but the binoculars are going to go at the other end. So let me take out the card. So this is what we're shooting for. So that is the stamping. So quick and easy. And I like what they did with this. They took the banner, the Moody Mauve banner, and with regular adhesive, they put it so that it will be underneath the happy birthday, but they put it on an angle. And what's nice about that is when we take our happy birthday and we use our dimensionals, just putting dimensionals on the back, nothing fancy. You'll see that when we lay it down, we're going to tip it a little bit. But before we do that, we need to take about 12 inches of the twine. I'm sorry, I'm jumping around a little bit. Did not mean to. I just got excited about the angle. So we'll go with the twine. I'll slow down a little bit. But this one, they just tied a bow. And it's a nice sloppy bow. And they just laid it down. Now we've done this before where we make a bow and then we cover most of it. But it leaves just the right number of pieces sticking out. So we're going to actually adhere it down to the Moody Mauve. So that's why the Moody Mauve has to go down. And then you can use one of your glue dots or regular adhesive. I guess I'll use a glue dot. So one of the ones that they provide. I like to use my take your pick tool, just in case somebody's watching it and doesn't know. we have our take your picture, which has a pointy end and a putty end. But I got my glue dot down there, and it makes it really easy to pick them up too. So we're going to just lay down the bow haphazardly. And there we have that. So once that's glued down, we're just going to take our banner that we stamped with the dimensionals, and we're going to put it straight. So remember, we put the Moody Mauve down and it was crooked. And now I'm putting the happy birthday straight down, actually. And I'm covering up the bow. I'm having a little trouble seeing here. Sorry about that. And that way you can see the Moody Mauve, even though they're about the same size. It kind of sticks out a little bit. Just a cute touch. And then the last thing is our little binoculars. They go on top with a dimensional, just one. So here we go. And it goes on an angle at the end. And I'm finishing everything off. So that's the first card. Believe it or not, that's all it is. But it has all the cool colors in it, right? It has the Moody Mauve, the boho blue. I guess these are copper clay. This is the pebbled path, the binoculars. I don't really see the wild wheat in this one, but you get the idea. So how'd you do? Everybody okay?
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So we'll move on to the next card. Quick and easy. So the next one, this is what it's going to look like. You can see there's really very little we have to do here. So let's fold our card in half. Give it a nice crease. Canoe is on the front. And we are going to stamp on our label that we have here. And this one they used this saying, life is meant for good friends and great adventures. So that's fun to have. Nice all occasion card. Just to say hey. And so we're going to ink it up and stamp it down. It fits perfectly. Okay. So for this one, we are actually going to take, I think they say 20 inches in here, but let's see what it says. Yeah, it says 20 inches for this. Now, of course, you could always measure on with the ruler that's on the edge of the paper. I'm just going to eyeball it at this point. I also have a ruler down at the bottom of my scrap paper. I'm going to do, I don't know, a little over 16 inches, maybe 17. And my trick for this is we're going to be wrapping it around and tying a bow. So I know I want to have a bow on the top. So I need to leave an extra bit, a good bit, to be able to tie a bow. So I'm leaving that on the left-hand side, and I'm putting all to the right. And I'm just going to wrap it around. So it's like, I think that was 3 times. And then I set it by tying the first part of the, I think I could go another one. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So then I'm going to tie the bow at the top here, and then I'm going to mush it all together because you're able to do that once you tie your bow. So I'm just going to hold it down with one finger, tie the bow, and then I'm going to futz with it a little bit, get it to lay the way I want, and then I'll smush it down. So you can see I have my bow. It's not quite perfect, but I'm going to move it around a little bit till I get it the way I want it, and pull it nice and tight. And I thought that this was not as bad as I feared it was going to be. Sometimes in that, you know, when you have to tie a bow, we've all often talked about this, but those aren't always easy. But this one I felt, because it's the twine and because you're going around a few times, it's a little bit forgiving. So there we go. Okay, so once you have that done, we're going to put it onto the card using dimensionals. And it goes, the way that they had it is they put it almost at the top. I'm just going to cover up the twine in case it becomes untied. That way it stays with the card. And we put it almost at the top of the card on the right-hand side. Get it straight. And then they just added the label with regular adhesive. They put that right under where the bow is. And if you want, you can trim your twine. I think I'll leave this one. I trimmed my first one, but there you can see how it ends up looking. So nice and easy. Gotta love it. And they pre-print the cards for you. There's lots
Okay,
going
so I got caught up with behind with the bow. So this blue piece goes on with regular adhesive, and then the label goes with dimensionals.
vice versa. So the piece that has the twine around it, that goes on with dimensionals.
Aha. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And then the label goes
Backwards.
on with regular. Yep. Whew. Got a little toasty today. I had my hair in a ponytail for a while.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know. I don't do that. Except when I'm working out, but it was warm. But that's it for this card. Easy peasy. The last card, equally simple. This one has the mountains. And Sheila, let me know when you're ready.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, excellent. All right, so our last one, we're going to fold it in half. Card number 3. Nice crease. And for this one, we're going to take the, well, let's stamp first. I'd like to do that. Okay, so this one you can choose. Definitely the happy birthday fits nicely on this. They used the one that says, it doesn't matter where you're going, it's who you have beside you, which is also a very nice sentiment. So I'm going to stamp that again. Right into the label. I do love this copper clay. I think it's just the perfect brown. While I really liked soft suede, I'm okay with it being gone and being replaced by this, and also with pecan pie. They're both really nice browns, nice warm browns. Okay, so once you have that stamped, we're going to take the Moody Mauve piece and put regular adhesive on there. And it's going to go in the sky towards the top of the card, but centered. It looks like this. And this time we're going to take, I think they said 14 inches. Let me double check for you. Yep, 14 inches of twine, and they just rolled it into like a little circle. So I'm going to do that and show you how I do it. I put about 14 inches. You could probably go with less, but it looks nice this way. And first thing I do is I just kind of straighten it out with my fingernails, just going along the twine to get out the kinks that are already there. And then I just wrap it around all four of my fingers, okay? And then I pull it off And then we're just going to place it down. And I try to get my ends on the, what would be the inside, because you can see I'm going to be covering it with our label. So look at that. It's like a perfect circle this time. Doesn't usually happen that way. But definitely when you use your fingernail to straighten it out a little bit, it definitely helps. And then we're going to use 3 dimensionals. And the reason we want 3 is we want to make sure that we're trapping the circle of twine so that it doesn't come off the card. So the center one is going to be in the middle, and then these 2 can either hold down the twine if it happens to touch, or just be something that goes beside it. But either way, it will in effect secure it to the card. So there we go. So this is one of those instances that I definitely recommend going with the 3 that they recommend. Sometimes I think it's overkill. Our dimensionals are very strong. They really work really well. Sometimes you want a little bit more lift all the way around, and then that's another case where you might want to use more, but a lot of times I just want a little bit of lift, and I keep them to a minimum. But then the last thing is the little compass gets a dimensional, and it goes in the top right left corner. And there it is. That is it. So of course I'm looking for bling, something else to put on here, but this time we're just going to stick with this. It's a manly card, you know, they don't go after the bling like us girls sometimes do. But that's how easy these cards are. So you can whip up this whole box, you know, in half an hour, now that you know what you're doing, especially if you do it an assembly line. But so what we want to do is take a look at, where did it go? I'm going to share my screen, and I created I'm going to try it this way. This is a PowerPoint presentation with samples I found online, and I will send them to you. I was trying to think of the easiest way to get them to show one after another, and so that we could really see them. So this is the first one. I thought it was a great idea to split the card front, and then you could do the same on the back, and make multiple cards. That background, the embossing folder, is the countryside embossing folder with that suite. So always a good choice. So, and I like the way that she backed it with black to make it pop a little bit. The next one.
I like that. That's nice.
Yeah, it's really good, right? So this next one, it's a little bit harder to see. This is Stamped with Candy, and I will make sure that I put the names in into the email that I send you. That was one thing I really have to update my PowerPoint presentation to include the name, but I didn't think of it until it was too late. So this is a fun fold card that she made. So she had to cut apart the card, but she folded the front in half, you know, folded it back so that it looks like a scene. So that is pretty cool. It looks like it's like a little rocking chair in there. Yeah, I have no idea how she did that. You can go to—
That's what I was going to ask, is how did she do that?
I didn't realize it was a rocking chair until just now. But if you go to stampwithcandy.com, I'm sure she tells you how she did that. So that's the second one. This next one, I like the way that she cut. Can you see my cursor when I do this?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, good. So the circle, I love that she just cut it out with our stylish shapes. And so that made kind of a scene. And I guess she stamped this, or yeah, I think I don't know if it's an embossing folder or stamped, but regardless, she has like a wooded look. And here she's using the adorable little mug, which I really love them. So very fun. Kind of to expand your card collection. This one is from Hannah. Hannah's one of our Northish Jersey stampers. She's the head of our group, and she folded the card. She folded it into itself, and then the front back, so that you can see the whole card. I'll show you that in a second if I remember. But I thought that was a nice little touch to make it look like a scene. So she did a good job with that. Next, this one was done with those fun radiating dyes. I don't remember what they're called, but she'd cut them apart. And this one you could do just by cutting the rectangle out of the middle, and then she took a different color to layer it. So it's kind of like that, what is that technique called when you stamp on 3 layers and then separate them and then put a piece of solid cardstock in between. So that's what she did here. It just makes it a little more interesting, I think. And then of course this could be the back of the card, right? Because I don't recognize the front. So she was able to get 2 cards out of that piece. So I thought these were nice to show the Father's Day. So I'm not sure what set that's from, but this is from
I was going to say, wait, what stamp is that?
This one I know is from He's All That, but to a Great Guy, I'm not sure which one that's from. So we can check with chatandcraftwithlorraine.com. So we can always go to her website and look that up. But she just slit the card and just used copper clay base instead. So that makes it really simple. And you get double the cards. Okay. So this one again, they took the front of the back panel and cut it into 3 different pieces and put it on to some copper clay cardstock to make a more interesting card, right? It makes it dresses it up a little bit, but really just the same. She did add some bling. She must be a blinger. So this, I don't know if anybody noticed these dies in the catalog. These are new. They are called, oh, I had it open and then I closed it. Hang on. I'll tell you what they're called. There are 2 different dies, and they cut your a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of cardstock into those different shapes. They're called patchwork pieces, and there are 2 different designs. One is this one, the Starburst, and then the other one is kind of squiggly lines. It's on page 165 of the catalog. But I like the way that she did that, and then she pulled them apart a little bit so you can have a border on the inside, and I just thought that was another cool way of using it. So there's that. Let's see. This one, same thing, except she made more of like a mosaic, this is an artisan crafter. So that's, I believe that's the official Stampin' Up Artisan Award winner logo. So I guess that's what she does, Melinda Hart. And that's a lot of work, to get it to line up carefully, but it does look very impressive once you're done. And it looks like you're looking at a paned window. All right. And then this is the last one. This is Petty O. And I like the way that she just cut it apart and put it on just the coordinating cardstocks. So and she used the little embellishments. I just used these for my seniors. We got them for the class, and they are called, let's see, they are rustic metallic adhesive back dots. So they are nice and manly. So I thought went very well with this kit. So those are 10 cards that I thought were really nice. And of course you can see more of them, more like them. If you go, here, let me stay here for a second. If you just Google Stampin' Paper Pumpkin, and then just look at some of the latest entries that come up, especially if you go to images. So there are lots of different ways to look at ideas from other people. People love to post their alternative projects. These are the patchwork pieces that I was talking about. And wasn't there another one I was going to show you? I said, if I remember, I'll show you. Oh, I know. I was going to show you how they did the card fronts. So basically what they did is they folded the card this way. Okay, so backwards. And then they fold this back. And voila, you end up with, you gotta give it a really good crease. So you can score it, of course. But here you now have that, the way that you can see the whole thing.
Fold it back. Look at how it matches up. The mountain matches
Yeah,
up.
yeah, almost, yeah. That's a coincidence. So, but yeah, so that's a pretty cool idea. I
I
don't,
do like that.
yeah. So anyway, that's what I wanted to share. Okay, but yeah, so that's it for today and for this month. And so our next kit should be fun to play with. It's the Countryside Inn. And if you are interested in getting the add-on for that, I believe there are 3 little dies that you can order. That's $6. Maybe it's 2 dies, I'm not sure, but you can just add them to a regular order that you're placing, whether it be demonstrator for those of you who are demonstrators, and also a customer order, a regular order. You can do that. You can find all the details on the Paper Pumpkin page. And I think that's it for tonight. So those of you who are on subscribe with me, you'll get these different ideas in your email later today, along with the link to this recording. So thank you for joining me. That was probably a record.
I was gonna say, that was quick.
Yeah, that was really, really quick, but you know, sometimes
But
it's
they're
nice.
very nice.
Yeah.
They're very nice cards.
Yeah, and it's nice to have something that's a little more masculine. So
Yes,
yeah,
I
it's a
agree.
good addition to our collection. So, but thank you so much, and I'll see you girls next week. So we'll see you then.
Yes, take care.
Thank
Have a good
you.
night.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.